Hello students, welcome to the today's session. So in the last class we have learned what are the um, stages of civil disobedience movement. What is the difference between the civil disobedience movement and the non-cooperation movement? So there is a slight as well as lot of differences between civil disobedience movement and non-cooperation there. And salt march. So that became the main source to start the civil disobedience movement in our country in the year 1930. So by 1931 and 32, by that end, we will see the the civil disobedience movement came to an end due to the certain reasons because a lot of people they were what we will tell they were being arrested and brutally they were beaten back. Violently, the Britishers started opposing the national movement which was taking place in our country. So same thing. In today's class, we are going to learn about participants saw the movement, how the participants saw the movement, in which each and everything we are going to learn in the today's session. So participants saw the movement. First of all, we will learn about countryside, how the countryside people they gave the support for the civil disobedience movement. So, rich peasants communities like Pattidars of Gujarat, the rich landlords we can tell for them, like as well as rich peasants, those were having lot per acres of land. So those people, those community people in Gujarat, they have taken the two examples how the people participated in the civil disobedience movement there. One is Pattidars of Gujarat, Jats of Uttar Pradesh. So these two communities were very active in the movement when the civil disobedience was being launched. So being producers of commercial crops, they were producing the commercial crops and they were importing those commercial crops to the different parts of the country wherever the demand was been more. So due to the economic crisis during that time after the First World War, uh, they were very hard hit back by the trade depression because the import goods and services were not being um, imported to the other countries. The import business was been decreased and it was been declined there, and the price were fall down. So they refused to pay the revenue to the government. So during that time, the I have told the taxation was been increased to balance the war expenditure which was done by the Britishers. So as a result, the revenue they were collecting more and more revenue, even though there was a crop failure. The people are suffering very lot in that period. Also, they did not give any kind of concessions there. So these communities people, rich peasants, they refused to pay the revenue to the government, and these people were very eagerly and enthusiastically supporters of the movement during that time. So they started organizing the people for the movement there. So in this way, the rich peasants they gave the support for the civil disobedience movement which was launched by the Mahatma Gandhi ji. So for them, fight for Swaraj was the struggle against the high revenue. So according to them, what is the civil disobedience movement means? Um, it is a struggle against the high revenue, and they were high revenue, and they were not having proper support from the government, whatever crisis, whatever conditions they were facing during that time. But they get very disappointed when the movement was call off without any kind of changes. In what kind of means, when they call off the civil disobedience movement back, the taxation was not being produced there. So according to them, the Swaraj was this one. So they were very disappointed when Gandhi ji took back the movement after the signing a treaty, Gandhi and Indian Pact. Okay, what about the small farmers then? Did they support it for the civil disobedience movement? Not in a more percentage, but in a less percent. Okay, the poor peasantry were not just interested in the lowering of the revenue demand. Many of them in the small tents cultivating the land, and they had a rented from landlords. So as the depression continued, the cash income was being decreased there. The small tents found it very difficult to pay their rent. poor peasants, the people those who are not having any kind of land, they used to take for a rent and do the cultivation when they will get the crops. So that crop will be given to the main owner who is the owner of that land. So for some time they used to do the cultivation for a rent purpose. So they used to pay the rent, and whatever profit was came after the crop production, it was being equally distributed there. So when economic depression took place, when agriculture prices suddenly fall down, so during that time these people, they were not having any kind of um, concession in their rent there. They wanted to unpaid the rent to the landlords and to be remitted. So they were not willing to pay the rent to their particular lands, whatever they were doing the cultivation, and it should be revised. So they joined the variety of radical movement, different kinds of movement they started joining. Often they led by the socialistic and communist party thinkers as well as leaders. So oppressive of the rising issues might upset the rich peasants and the landlords. The Congress was unwilling to support no rent campaigning in most of the places. So the relationship between poor peasants and the Congress remained uncertain. They did not give full support for the poor peasants during that time. Okay. So with the help of socialistic thinkers as well as the followers and the communist thinking followers, they started following their ideas as well as a certain movement which took place in our country, because they did not want to pay rent to the landlords there. Even though if they are paying means the rent should be reduced at that period, after that they can take the more rent. So in this way they started demanding. So in this way, not more number of percentage, the poor peasants supported the civil disobedience movement. We will see most of the rich peasants, they gave the support for that one. Then how about the business class people? All I have told, middle class were being participated, rich peasants they were participated. Then how about business class people, those were living in the towns and city area, how they supported? So during the First World War, merchants and the traders as well as industrialists, they made a huge profit and become more and more powerful during the First World War, because the production, whatever they were doing the production in a more number, they used to produce the goods and services, and then they were circulating it. And most of the Britishers, they gave the encouragement to produce the weapons, warship, etc., etc., that you are going to learn in the next chapters about the global world, how they participated in the First World War, how the India participated in that one, what was the effect. So about these you are going to learn in the next chapter also. So they wanted to protest, they wanted to protect against the import of foreign goods, whatever foreign goods they were coming to our country, they wanted to protect it, because it was like a one tough competition between international goods and services and domestic goods and services. So to organize it, to protect this kind of situation, the businessman people, they started organizing themselves and they formed Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress in 1920. It was one of the organization which was there to support the businessman people, as well as the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce in Mumbai, and it was established in the year 1927. In short, we call it as a FICCI. So it was led by the two prominent leaders called Purushottam Das Thakur Das and JD Birla. So these two people, they organized FICCI. The industrialist attacked the colonial control over the Indian economy. So the industries and the factories were under the control of Britishers there. They wanted to take back that control, because they were not willing to work under the British control there. So they started supporting the civil disobedience movement when it was being firstly launched in our country. Most of the businessmen, they refused to import as well as they sell the goods and services which are coming from the foreign country. most of the businessmen supported the Swaraj movement, and later no longer exist. The trade industry would flourish without any kind of restriction. So according to them, what was the movement of Swaraj means, the existing trade, whatever present trade is there, the industry is there, without any kind of restriction, it should flourish as well as it should develop the Indian economy. So most of the businessmen they supported it, but not all the people. Some of the industrial workers they did not participated, except the Nagpur region in the Maharashtra. So in the Maharashtra region, only this state as well as this place gave full support for the civil disobedience movement, because as the industrialists they came closer with the Congress contact, and but in spite some of the people participated in the movement by the boycotting all kind of foreign goods as a part of own movement against the low wages and poor working conditions. Not all industrial workers they participated, some number of percentage, like 50%, 100% the workers are there means 25% of the workers they participated in that one, remaining they left as it is only. So that region we call it as a Nagpur. So those people, they were boycotting, they started boycotting the foreign goods, as a part of their own movement, and they were getting the low wages, low salary they were getting, even though they are working for extra time also, and the working condition was very poor. So to come out from that situation only, they started boycotting the condition, as well as they gave the support for the civil disobedience movement there. Firstly, the businessmen, they wanted to protect themselves from the import of foreign goods and services which was coming to our country, and they started organizing themselves. I have told the two organizations there. So later on, not more number of percentage they supported it, less number also they supported, and successfully the businessman they participated in the uh, civil disobedience movement. But later on, when the second roundtable conference took place, as well as when the roundtable conference took a failure, um, the businessman people started losing the interest to give the support towards the civil disobedience movement there, because they were also having their own demand to the British government, but it was not being fulfilled. It was a failure in the roundtable conference. So that is why they took back their support, and slowly, gradually, the participation was decreasing there. Okay, so most of the people who were concentrated in the civil disobedience movement is the railway workers, dockyard workers. They participated very well in the civil disobedience movement there. Chota Nagpur tin mines wore Gandhi cap. They started wearing the Gandhi cap, participated in the protest rallies, and boycotting the campaigning. So in this way, they gave their own support for the civil disobedience movement in our country when it was being launched. So first I have told about countryside, next about businessman people. Then how about women? You have not talked about the women, ma'am. How even women are also participated in this national movement for the freedom. Yes, yes, the women also participated in that one. Yes, the participation of women in the movement. So during the movement, a large number of women participated. Thousands of women they came out from their home just to listen the Gandhiji's words and his inspirational motivational speeches there, regarding the Swatantra Bharat as well as regarding the independence there. So many of the women belonging to the high caste family, upper caste family, um, they started protesting against the foreign rule. They participated in the protest marches, manufactured salt when the Dandi March was took place. That is Dandi movement took place in our country. They picketed foreign clothes and liquor shop. These women were from the high caste families. So in the rural areas, rich peasant household family women, they participated in the more in the national movement there. For a long time, the Congress was they gave the any position authority to the women within the organization, and the Congress was keen on a symbolic presence of women there. So women began to see the service, to seek the service towards the nation. They were believing giving this kind of service is a sacred duty of of every women there. So even women in a more enthusiastically they participated in the civil disobedience movement as well as the national movement which was being launched. And Congress leaders they started visualizing in by keeping the women there. So as a result, uh, they were getting the position in the Congress also. Yes. So coming to the next, how about the other class of the people those who are living in our society, especially untouchables? I have told certain limitations were been there for the civil disobedience movement. What are the limitations then? I have told that countryside people, urban side people, even women, they took the interest. They came out from that household chores as well as household activities. They joined this national movement in our country, and they started spreading national sentiment among the people. Even Congress recognized them and gave this some position in the party to lead what we will tell to lead a procession. They were starting giving support for the national movement there. So how about other class people? Even other caste of people are living in our country. How about that one? Yes. So some limitations were been there. I want to talk about that one. Okay. Not all social group which was there in the society, they moved by the abstract concept of Swaraj. They did not move in the path of Swaraj. The Congress had ignored Dalit or untouchables because they feared of offending the Sanatanis high caste people those were living in the Congress party. They refused, they ignored the people those were belonging to the untouchable. They did not took the support of them in any kind of certain movements which was being launched by the Mahatma Gandhi ji, and they did not give any kind of special position as well as special treatment for the untouchables in our country, because they were having one fear that they are defend not it was like a offending to the Sanatanis. It will insult the high caste people those were living in the Congress party. So in that way they started ignoring them. But Gandhiji, he was having one extra thinking only. But Gandhiji declared, if we want Swaraj as well as the Purna Swaraj, uh, it would not come 100, 200,000 years if we ignore untouchables, if we not take the support of untouchables. Men. So at that time, one a big challenge was being there in front of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Even these people should also join the national movement there, because already the Congress leaders has ignored them, and they were not having any facilities which was given by the society. They were not having the permission to enter in the where the high caste people they were living. They should not walk in their street. They were not having any entrance to in the temple. Even education also they were not having any kind of permission to take the education. Okay. So what we will tell, a critical situation was been there for those people those were living in during that time. So it was a big challenge for the Mahatma Gandhi ji to involve in the civil disobedience movement, because they were not ready to give the support for the Swaraj there, as well as for the full independence. So what he did, he started calling the Harijan, Dalit, Harijan or untouchable, all things are same. He called them untouchable in the name of Harijan. Harijan means they are the children of God. Okay, they are the children of God. And he started organizing satyagraha to secure, to get entry into the temple, to access the public well, tanks, road and school. He himself cleaned the toilet to dignify the work of Bhangi. It is one of the community where they will clean all kind of toilets, as well as whatever wastage are being done by the people, so to dignify their work. So if we uh, unrespect disrespect their work, means if they stop doing that work, what is the condition at that time? Okay, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಾರಿ. Okay, so in this way, each and every people, they were been they were not having any support. They were not having any permission to take the education, because they are belonging to the low caste and they are not having any opportunity. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹಣೆ ಬರನಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದಾರ ಜ್ಞಾನ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತಂದು ಹೇಳಿ. The always the high caste people, they used to exploit the Dalit there. Even till today also we will see the exploitation of these people. So at that period, in this critical situation, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, with a great difficulty, he took the education in the school. Okay, he used to sit outside, and he used to listen the classes, and if any kind of cleanliness is there, means they used to clean entire school, as well as if they use any chalk or board to solve the problem, means their after the class they used to clean entire thing there. So in this kind of situation, he badly exploited by the teachers only. Okay, one who give the uh, education and maintain equality among the people, they, those people only, they exploited very badly the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar there during his childhood. So keeping all in that mind, he took education, because he knew that education can make a lot of changes in the world as well as in the society. So as a result, with a great difficulty, he took the education. As well as Gandhiji, he came to know about the situation, how the Dalit people were being exploited, and to give a dignified dignity as well as respect in the society, he started organizing satyagraha to improvise their lifestyle condition and to get the support to launch the civil disobedience movement in our country once again. So they began organizing themselves, demanding the reserves. Um, in this way, they started organizing themselves. But many Dalit leaders, they did not go towards the thinking of Mahatma Gandhi ji, because they were having the different political solution to their problems. If we get the solutions for their problem, is it is only from political background there. So those Dalit leaders, they started began organizing themselves, demanding reservation seats in the legislative council, seats in the educational institution, separate election should be there, so that our representative will become the member in the legislative council, and whatever our problems will be there, it will be solved. In that way, they began organizing themselves, and they did not worried about civil disobedience movement which was taking place in our country. So these were some of the limitations by the Dalit people. They did not supported most number of people. They did not supported this movement. They did not participate, particularly in Maharashtra and Nagpur region. Whatever organization were being there, political organization in the name of untouchable, what very quite strong there. Okay, so as a result, the civil disobedience movement, not all social group, they moved towards the independence day, some limitations were been there. So according to that one, Dalit, that is untouchable people, uh, their condition was very bad during that time. So to come out from their situation, Gandhiji and some political leaders, they supported the Harijan people to improvise their lifestyle and condition there. But they kept a demand in front of British government. Separate election system should be there, separate reservation seat should be reserved in the educational institution, in the schools and colleges, separate election for the Dalit members only to stand in the election to win in the election there. So Gandhiji was having fear that if we not take the uh, support of these people, means we will not get any kind of uh, full independence to our country. So, with a great struggle, he started giving support for the untouchables also during that time. Not only he gave the support for the freedom movement, but also he gave the support for the Dalit people to improvise their lifestyle condition. Then, how the Dalit people entered in the civil disobedience movement? So in the next session, I'm going to explain about that one, how they started giving the support towards the civil disobedience movement, which was being launched by the Mahatma Gandhi ji. And after that, I am going to tell about Muslim people. Even those people also took back the support civil disobedience movement during that time. So these are the two limitations there. So what are the reasons behind why they did not give the support? And some collective belongings have been there to improvise the national sentiment among the people. What are those collective belongings? So remaining part I am going to explain in the next session. I hope today's class you have understood. So signing out. If you are having any doubt, you can just pin your question in the group. So have a great day. Bye everyone.